Hello, my name is Hannah Turner. For my KING4000 final project, I've decided to do a video. So I'll start with the quote. The place God calls you to is the place where deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. When I consider this quote, I immediately think of my calling in ministry as well as teaching. What deep hunger in the world do you see yourself being able to meet due to your education and your natural gifts and talents? First, my education and my natural gift is in English and writing, and this will allow me to pass on knowledge, and knowledge is definitely something I feel like is a hunger, whether it's something that students realize they're hungering for or not. Second, I feel called to be a part of the hunger for Jesus. Many people do not realize that when they feel they are missing something in their life, it is often Jesus they're longing for. I want to be a part of helping people fulfill that hunger through ministry. And on page 195 of the book, I have it here, the book says that we must serve the work, which means to me, in relation to ministry, that I must do my part as serving and doing the not so fun things before God blesses me with the bigger opportunities. Third, I want to help people fulfill the hunger to worship and give everything to God through worship. I sing, and I am finally aware that God has given me a gift that I should not waste. Singing for the Lord is about helping people enter into His presence and not about sounding really good. The second question is, what problems or issues might you encounter as you go forth from King to try to pursue your vocational calling? The only thing I could think of is finding a job, or a job that I actually enjoy. I don't feel that I will have too many problems finding a teaching job because there's such a need for them, but there are cases where people do have a hard time finding one, or they have to accept one they're not happy with. It may take a couple years to land a job I'm truly happy with, adjusted to, and in the right location before, but I'm okay with that. And the book talks about 3 frustrations in C.S. Lewis's learning in wartime. That could be a problem that I could encounter. The 3 things are the enemy of excitement, which is getting excited about a war. In teacher terms, that would be maybe agging on drama in school or with coworkers. The second one is the enemy of frustration. This could mean stress, lesson planning, getting good test scores from your students. The third one is the enemy of fear, and that would be feeling like I'm not good enough. The third question is, how might a focus on virtue, vocation, or authenticity help to counteract these problems? And I answer this by saying, I think placing a focus on these things all comes down to placing your trust in God. He will help me through every battle that I come across, as He always has. It just always works out. Number 4 is listen and explain 3 crucial and or transformative experiences you've had during your college experience. How and why are these experiences transformative? How do they better equip you to change the world? So the first one that I can think of is the mission trip that I took to Atlanta, Georgia. I had such an amazing time there. For the sake of time, I will just say that this trip was life-changing because I built relationships and learned so much about other religions and found a solid affirmation as to why I am a Christian and believe what I do instead of something else. I will never forget the kids from this trip, and they impacted me as much as I hope that I impacted them. The second experience I can think of is observing and teaching in the classroom. This helped me find peace in knowing that I am supposed to be a teacher. It feels right, and I found a lot of joy in it. Lastly, the most life-changing class I was in was Erin Kingsley's class. She inspires and encourages students like nobody I have ever met. She made me feel like I could do anything, and she helped me affirm my faith as well. Many of us in that class had different beliefs, so the conversation was often controversial. It was interesting to see things from a non-Christian point of view from the other students, because it made me ask myself, why? Why do I believe what I do? And I learned how to back it up. And overall, Dr. Kingsley is just a down-to-earth and kind person who listens because she cares, not to respond. Even though she does respond with great wisdom and advice, but she always listens to you, and it's just so sweet. I want to be a teacher like her, maybe even a professor one day. So lastly, what in the end makes for a meaningful life? A friend of mine responded that a meaningful life is spent intentionally, day by day, making conscious decisions to spend what little time you have wisely and joyfully and rooted in Christ. And I say a meaningful life is a life spent with joy and a life spent trusting in God's plan. As the book says on page 435 in the poem Invictus, I am the master of my faith. I am the captain of my soul. And it's my choice to enjoy life or not, and it's everyone else's too.